We're here at an Image Home Improvement home with Jeff Howell from Jasper Air. And Jeff, this is a great sounding train you just installed at this homeowner's home. Tell us a little bit about how this all came to pass.
Well, the homeowner had issues with noise, issues with cooling. We did a load calculation on the house to determine that the unit that was here was improperly sized. We increased the size of this unit and found that the old unit wasn't cooling properly. It was loud. So we took all the old equipment out. They had a couple of issues with rooms upstairs that weren't cooling properly. So we redid the ductwork to those rooms. And relaid out the plenum boxes on the unit upstairs. They had real small plenum boxes. The air wasn't being distributed properly. So we redid those. Homeowner's happy with the new unit. Unit's cooling properly. No complaints to date.
Well, you had said earlier that the homeowner never used to be able to come out on their patio and be able to talk and carry on a conversation, because when the air conditioner unit kicked in, the old one, that it was so loud that you couldn't even talk. And we're talking, standing right next to it now, and it's very quiet.
Right. They have a table on the patio, and they couldn't sit. That's about 30 feet from this unit right now, and they couldn't sit at the table and have a conversation. And they said they can sit out there, have a conversation now. They can't even hear this running from the patio. And like you said, we are standing right next to it, having a conversation. All the neighbors in this neighborhood have the same unit that they had, and you can actually hear their units come on when they do come on.
And I bet you could hear, like for instance, all the surrounding homes next door. It's probably very loud, but they probably could barely hear this, if at all.
Right. And they've actually, since we installed this, had neighbors come over and ask them if the unit was running, because they couldn't hear it running. So
this way the HOA sound police didn't come by, and this house is golden now, so we don't have to worry about them coming by. But tell us about the energy savings that this unit's going to give these homeowners now that they've upgraded.
This should save them approximately $100 a month on their electric bill. The old unit they had was a 13 SEER, probably functioning at about an 8 SEER. And this is a 14 SEER unit that's actually ARI rated at 15 SEER. So this should equate to about $100 a month savings. And what we're going to do is take their monthly bill from last year for the first full month that this unit's installed, and their monthly bill from this year, and we're going to do a comparison so that they can see the actual savings.
Right, and we'll bring those comparison numbers to you just as soon as we get them, so that you can see the benefits of upgrading to a new unit versus an older unit that was probably, when do you think that old unit was put in? Early 90s?
It wasn't quite that old, but it was probably between 10 and 8 years old.
About 10 and 8 years old. And those old units, I know, because I used to own one in the home I bought in 1989. It was plenty loud, and I can't tell you, before these newer, quieter units came to be, how many motors I changed because they just burned out. They got louder, and even with new motors in them, they were still plenty loud.
Right, and part of that problem is the compressor. These are builder models. The existing one was a builder model. It's the cheapest that the builders can use to put in, and they serve their purpose. But when it's time to put a new one in, most homeowners want to go with a higher efficiency, quieter unit.
Tell us a little bit about the inconvenience factor for the homeowner in this whole process.
Well, from the beginning, when we come out and we do the survey of the install, we wear shoe covers, we put drop cloths down, we try to inconvenience the homeowner as little as possible. Their house is usually cleaner when we leave than it was when we got here. What we do when we get to the install, we lay tarps from the front door to the attic access, the work area. And typically we're done in one day. And I say typically because there may be issues or times when we're changing all the ductwork in a house. A basic install in an attic, we're done in one day. We try to inconvenience the homeowner as little as possible.
And I think our viewers need to understand that the process, especially when you had mentioned that you changed some of the ducts around that are up in the attic, especially in attics that don't have a lot of ceiling height, where it's very cramped and it takes a little bit of time and, most importantly, a lot of patience to be able to go up there, disconnect everything, and bring everything down through that scuttle hole, wherever that may be in your home, because I know a lot of times those scuttle holes are not in the most advantageous place. And to be able to get all that equipment out, and then you've got to go back and dismantle the old unit to get it out of the house. I mean, that alone takes time and patience.
Right. Like I said, typically we're done in a day. It's usually a 6 to a 10-hour day. You know, and it's up to the homeowner if they want to stay home or if they want to, you know, be out of the house while we're working. It does take a lot of patience to get up there and take that stuff apart and do it right. There's guys that go in there and they'll have this done in you know, 4 to 6 hours, and you know, it's not necessarily going to be done right. We take everything apart, we clean everything out of the way of the ductwork as we're taking it apart to ensure that nothing gets in the duct, so when we turn that on, you know, it doesn't blow dust throughout the house.
Exactly, and then again, doing all that stuff right and braving these Arizona summer temperatures, that could be a little trying.
Yeah, you know, I found that proper preparation makes an easy job and makes for easy cleanup and makes happy homeowners.
Right. What I'd like all our viewers to know is that this unit, newly installed by Jasper Air, will be there for our homeowners all the time whenever they need it. And as the train always says, it's hard to stop a train. But Jeff, tell our viewers how they can contact your team.
They can reach us at jasperair.com or by calling the phone number on the screen.
Or you can contact Jasper Air at 1-800-ASK-A-PRO. That's 1-800-275-2776 for all your heating and air conditioning needs.
Don't go away. When we come back, we're going to have some more information that's going to make your house razzle and dazzle.